Welcome, everyone. We are live from the legendary Silverstone circuit for what is shaping up to be an absolutely explosive opening weekend of the junior single-seater season. Seriously, the energy here is just electric, so let's not waste any time and jump right into the action.
And man, this quote just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures the feeling down in the paddock. This isn't just another race. For these young drivers, it's the start of everything. It's a make-or-break season where every single corner, every tenth of a second, really counts. You can almost smell the ambition in the air. It's this wild mix of high-octane fuel and fresh rubber.
And there's just no better place for this all to unfold than right here at Silverstone, the historic home of British motor racing. This is ground zero. It's the very first step on what is a notoriously steep ladder. For these drivers, the dream of Formula One, the absolute pinnacle of motorsport, well, that dream begins right here, on this hallowed asphalt.
What makes this weekend so special is that we're seeing two key rungs of that F1 ladder right here on the same track. You've got the GB3 and the British F4 championships sharing the bill, which gives us a direct, unfiltered look at how talent progresses. The stars of F4 last year, they're now the ones battling it out in GB3. It's raw, it's unpredictable, and honestly, it is absolutely thrilling to watch.
So let's get to the main event of the day, the very first GB3 race of the season. And it gave us an instant headline, a story of redemption, starring a driver making his much-anticipated debut with a brand new team, Nikita Bedrin.
Oh man, Bedrin's race was pure drama. It's like a movie. Act 1, he secures pole position, the perfect start to his weekend. But then, Act 2, disaster. The lights go out, his car just bogs down. A terrible start that sees him get swallowed by the pack, dropping all the way to fourth. What followed, though, was an absolute masterclass. He was so clinical, picking off his rivals one by one, fighting his way back to the front to take a completely stunning victory. That is the kind of controlled aggression that turns heads further up the ladder.
And Bedrin himself basically confirmed it. He admitted they've been having clutch issues, which totally explains that nightmare start. But what's really telling here is his confidence. He knew that once he got the car moving, it had what he called ridiculous pace. And boy, did he prove it, slicing through the field with just incredible precision.
And this number right here, this tells you everything. It just shows how dominant that recovery really was. To go from nearly stalling on the grid to winning by 2.5 seconds, that is a massive statement. Right out of the gate, Nikita Bedrin has established himself as the driver everyone's going to be watching this season.
But here's the thing, a championship isn't won by a single driver. Behind Bedrin's incredible solo triumph, a really fierce team battle is already brewing. And this is where the season-long war is truly going to be fought.
So on one side, you've got Road and Motorsport. They're the established powerhouse, the old guard. They put 2 cars on the podium today, proving they are still very much the team to beat. But on the other side, you've got XL Motorsport, playing the role of this persistent thorn in their side, with F4 graduates like Rowan Campbell-Pilling proving they can fight right at the front. This rivalry is going to be a central storyline all year long, I guarantee it.
Okay, so let's look at the hard numbers. You can see it right here. Bedrin at the top, and right behind him, that double podium for Rodin with Molnar and Riem. And then, check it out, in 5th, there's Campbell-Pilling for XL, right in the mix. This scoreboard right here, this sets the stage perfectly for the battles we're about to see.
And the action wasn't just at the front, not by a long shot. The midfield was a total war zone, full of what the drivers call bumping and boring, which is basically just close, super aggressive wheel-to-wheel racing. There was a big incident between Nakamura and Fluxa that even sent a car spinning, keeping the stewards busy. It just goes to show you, out here, every single point is fought for tooth and nail.
Now, while the GB3 race was the headline act today, you can't really understand the pressure on these drivers without looking at the benchmark being set just one rung below them in British F4, because believe me, there's a shadow looming large over this entire paddock.
And that benchmark, it has a name, Dries van Langendock. As a McLaren Junior driver, the expectation isn't just for him to win, it's for him to dominate. And after putting on an absolute clinic at the opening F4 round last week with 2 wins, he has become the standard of excellence. He's the guy that everyone else on that grid is measuring themselves against.
After just 1 weekend of racing, Van Langendock has already racked up an incredible 58 championship points. That is a huge haul this early in the season. And to really see just how dominant that is, let's take a look at the standings.
Yeah, just look at that gap. Seriously, that is a commanding lead after only a handful of races.
The pressure is already on the rest of the F4 field to find an answer and find it fast before this guy just runs away with the whole championship. So, after a day that was just packed with drama, incredible recovery drives, and new rivalries, what does it all mean? Where do we go from here for the rest of the season?
Well, a few things are crystal clear. First, Nikita Bedrin isn't just some rookie, he's a serious contender for this title. Second, that team battle between the old guard at Roden and the challengers at Excel, it is going to be fantastic to watch. Third, the F4 graduates are showing they are more than ready for this step up. And finally, down in F4, Dries van Langdendonck is the man with a giant target on his back.
And the great news is we don't have to wait long for more action. Tomorrow is race 2, and High-Tech's Deegan Fairclough, who finished a solid 4th today, he'll be starting up near the front. He has a real chance to challenge today's winners and completely shift the momentum of this whole weekend. So it all leaves us with one final thought. This season, it isn't just going to be about who has the fastest car. It's about composure, it's about strategy, it's about pure resilience. It's about who has the skill and the nerve to conquer this incredible challenge. The real question is, who can survive the Silverstone gauntlet?